Welcome to the show. To top all other shows. Not really.
I think it does.
We're not that deluded, delulu, as they call it these days.
Yeah.
The modern people, delulu.
Is that what they say?
Delulu, yeah.
So they can't actually use proper words, and
No.
they come up with the wrong ones.
Unfortunately, Gen Z and Generation Alpha.
What's Generation Alpha?
That's the latest generation. Basically discarding the accepted language of our generations.
Yeah,
But that's how English evolves.
Yeah, well, that's how languages evolve.
But very
not just
soon we'll just be
English.
going,
Well, yeah. Well, I think we do, generally.
well, yeah, that's a normal day in our household.
Yeah, he did ask me a question this morning, because I didn't disagree with it, I just didn't say anything. And then he asked me again, and I said, yes, I have heard you. Yeah, so there we are.
It's like, what was that? Didn't they talk like that in that Raquel Welch Stone Age film?
Oh, they did.
Did they?
Yeah. And then there was all the fighting and...
Bikini.
Yeah, I don't think he said that.
Bikini.
Oh, talking of which, Kim Kardashian, I mean, I don't follow at all, whatever, but I mean, her new things are basically merkins. That's what she's brought out.
Thong merkins.
Just unbelievable.
Anywho, welcome
why
to the
would
show.
you want to bushy up your underparts when you can just leave them be? I mean,
because I reckon so many people have spent so much time removing the bushiness from the underparts that it's probably not growing back now.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
There's a fabulous thing on Amazon. What is it Veet? Is it Veet for Men or something?
Oh, Veet for Men, the
Veet
reviews.
for Men. Look up Veet for Men on Amazon and look at the reviews. They are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
If they're still there.
Well, I'm sure they must be, because it's the only fun part of Amazon, so I hope they haven't taken that down.
Shush now, Paul. Welcome to the show, which is called...
Sunday Chat!
Yes, it's our weekly show of sofa chat and banter here in our home in West London.
Yes, in our large palace in West London, yes. Only akin to Buckingham Palace. Yeah.
Right? I don't think so.
Don't think so, no.
So yes, welcome. Bloody welcome. Thank you.
That's thrown you out.
I need the book. I need the script.
I think we start with the thank yous and weather and things. I think that's what we normally
welcome
do.
to new subscribers who've recently joined us and are probably wondering what the heck is going on. But hey, that's how we rock and roll here on Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat!
That's right, and every time I say that word, those words, 2 words, Richard, 2 words, Paul repeats them in a screaming fashion.
Yeah. Always have done. Always
well, you
will.
haven't always.
Haven't I?
No.
Oh, well, if I haven't, you can check by going back to the first ever and then following them through, can't you? Yeah.
Well, the first ever was called a little Sunday Chat or something.
Sunday Chat!
Something like that.
On the sofa, I think.
I can't remember. It was so long ago in the mists of time.
In the annals of time. Yeah.
In the what?
Yeah. Annals of time.
Annals?
Yeah. It goes a long way back.
Sounds vaguely rude.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you also to all our supporters across YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and of course our Facebook group, Planet Vegetarian. That's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual.
And also to everybody who supports us on Coffee as well.
I was coming on to that.
Were you? I thought you were moving on.
I got
That's
the
what I
book.
thought you were doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
our coffee supporters. Thank you. Thank you.
From the bottom of our bottoms.
So, we usually kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report. So, Paul, What has the weather been like this week? Well, it's been pretty much of a muchness, hasn't it?
It has.
Really?
It's been rather unlike the woolen things that we have on our beds to keep us warm at the moment, which are colourful, but blankets. And the blanket we have had of late is grey. We've had grey blankets sitting there.
Anticyclonic gloom.
And
as the weathermen call
it really has been. You got quite excited, I think it was on Thursday morning, when the sun broke through for a few minutes.
Well, I wouldn't say minutes, more like seconds.
So when I came downstairs, I was speaking to Vanessa, and I came downstairs, and he said, "Did you see it? Did you?" I said, "See what?" He said, the sun."
It came through for a moment and it actually shone into the kitchen for a brief moment, and I was reminded of what that golden light looks like. And then it went.
Yeah.
And it's gone again. But I do believe the change is on the horizon.
It is. So we've had high pressure sitting over us, which has kept things very steady. And then we have about 5 low pressure systems coming in over the coming days, one after another, bringing colder weather and wetter weather.
Breening cola.
That sounds like something from what was it?
Yeah,
The old thing, Corona. Oh yeah, Corona. I used to love Corona. The Corona man coming around with the bottles, and you get your money back as well when you gave the empty bottle back.
And God knows what was in those pop recipes in those days.
Oh yeah, like cherryade, it was
what
such
colours?
red. Yeah.
What colours did they use in those days that sent us all crazy?
Yeah, well, not as crazy as other generations. Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't think it did. I think we were all pretty... Those people who grew up in the 60s and 70s and early 80s, I think we're all pretty grounded, really. I think everything's gone sort of topsy since then.
They're having to stop children from drinking those caffeine drinks.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Anyway.
And the weather this time last year was foggy in the morning and bright in the afternoon. It was, Paul.
Yeah, we had a bit of that the week before last, so yeah.
But it is feeling fairly mild.
It is,
which is good.
It's going to get cooler now.
Yeah.
Next week.
But we're very proud to announce that we have not used our central heating yet.
No.
We're trying to hold out for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah, the house actually isn't too bad. It's
around 14, 15 degrees, which we're used to.
Yeah.
Now.
We have had the little heater on.
We have.
Of an evening.
Our little Drio heater from Amazon, which is a little miracle because you can set the temperature.
Yeah.
Which is great, and it's really economical.
Yeah,
you don't really notice the difference.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't. And we have
in terms of the meter.
With cooking, you've done various bits of cooking, and we've noticed that hasn't sort of increased the overall spend significantly, which is good because we are at we're not where we were 2 years ago in terms of cost of electricity and gas, but I do hear in the UK it's going to be going up and up now, they say, so there we are. We shall see how it goes.
Although the government is apparently trying to do something about that, according to Rachel Reeves.
Oh,
they're looking at that.
I have no faith in our current government whatsoever.
No.
So, no.
Up the Greens, I say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loving the Greens, love Zach.
Yeah.
But I said that last week. So, let's...
Oh, and also I saw there's sort of flu jabs and COVID jabs available for certain people at the moment. Flu jabs, those over 65, I think it is. And there was a photograph of Keir Starmer, our Prime Minister, having one. Even though under the
He's
new
not,
regulations he's not actually eligible to have it.
No.
So there we are.
There you go. One rule for one.
Absolutely.
Another rule for another.
Yeah.
I think you'll find.
Yeah.
Anywho, Paul, let's move on now. So you mentioned cookery. It has been a bit of a cookery week this week, and you can see all my new cookery videos here on YouTube. And you can purchase the accompanying recipe cards from our coffee shop, and they're going down really well.
They are.
Yeah.
They are, absolutely.
I'm really delighted that so many people are actually cooking my recipes and sharing the pictures and the results on our Facebook group Planet Vegetarian. So I'm delighted whenever anybody says that they have cooked. I'm just delighted.
Does it delight you?
It delights me.
It does.
This is me being delighted. Isn't that a look of delight?
Oh, yeah, it's not a look of angel delight, it's a look of devil delight, I think, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it looks rather odd. I don't see that face very often, no.
But we were talking.
However, I have that face very often when I am eating what he has cooked, because I am enjoying not cooking as much, and I'm enjoying eating all the lovely things that you cook.
Well, we were talking about cookery this week because one of the things I made this week are Chorley cakes, which are from Chorley in Lancashire. Now they're a sort of relation of the Eccles cake, which is also in Lancashire.
Near cousin, really, yeah.
Yeah, only Chorley cakes are a little bit easier to make because they use short crust pastry, not a flaky pastry. So that will be coming up on Tuesday, along with a recipe card. But this sort of sparked a conversation about regional food. And actually what I've been trying to do is look at regional food for Cheshire, which is my home county. And there isn't a huge amount of sort of Cheshire specific dishes online. There are a few, but there aren't a huge amount. But one of the things we were talking about was cheese and milk.
Yeah, cheese and milk.
Now, how did it start off? You saw something online about cheese and milk.
I saw something online that apparently it's becoming a thing online, and it comes from Yorkshire, I think. Is it Yorkshire?
Well, I don't know. I think that's debatable.
I think it was that the article was saying that it was a Yorkshire thing. But I think it was wider than that. I think it's more the north, really.
Well, I think it's northwest, because when we were kids, I mean, it was a real treat if Mum said, do you want cheese and milk for your tea? And tea is kind of like dinner. And basically, I mean, you didn't know anything about cheese and milk at all until you met me. And I think I said to you, do you want to try cheese and milk for dinner?
And I went, what? Ugh.
And basically what it is you get a large plate, a dinner plate. Preferably one with a little bit of a lip.
A rim, yeah.
Yeah, and you fill it with milk.
Yeah.
You top it with grated cheese and you put it under the grill until the cheese goes brown and bubbly. And then you serve it with bread. You might have bacon or a sausage on top. And you use your bread to mop up the cheesy milk. And we used to love cheese and milk. And you had it, didn't you? Because I served it up for you.
Well, I actually remember the first time I had it was your mum did it for us.
Oh, did she?
It was when she was in the flat.
In the flat, yeah.
And we were staying for a few days, and she did it in the kitchen at the back, and I remember she was doing it, and then she brought it into me in the lounge, and of course you can only do one plate at a time, can't
That's
you?
right,
That's the thing.
yeah.
So I had mine, and we had sausage with that. And then you had yours, and then she.
And of course you have to, if you're going to eat it on your lap, you've got to have a tray.
Yes, yes.
It's boiling hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cheese and milk. So we kind of had this conversation about regional dishes. Yeah, it was fun.
I've sort of got a confession to make. I've been going on for many, many years about why a biscuit's called biscuits in America, and you have biscuits and gravy and things, and bread rolls and things like that. And then I realised a couple of years ago that the traditional Guernsey bap, which is quite flat and wide and has 2 dimples in it, is actually called a Guernsey biscuit, which I've known for years and years and years and years. And it just, I don't know why I wasn't referencing those 2 things, but yeah, in Guernsey, the traditional bread in Guernsey, other than a sweet bread of a Guernsey gosh, and obviously the normal breads of cottage loaves and things like that, the traditional one of a bap is a flattened roll, quite large, and it's got 2 dimples, and it's called a Guernsey biscuit.
You've said that twice.
I know, and they are so lovely, and I think I might try making some.
Well, I think
in
definitely
the coming
we
weeks.
should do a Guernsey gosh.
Yes. I think we'll use Cousin Tina's recipe for that. She's got a really fabulous
Well, there's
recipe.
Guernsey gosh and there's gosh malar as well, isn't there?
There's gosh malar, which Cousin Tina made us a gosh malar a couple of years ago when Mum was still alive and she was still living in the apartment.
What's the difference between a Guernsey gosh and a gosh malar?
A gosh malar is made of sugar, fat, flour and apples. It's basically an apple cake.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely delicious, where a Guernsey gosh is a sweetened dough with fruits in it, with dried fruits in it. And it's very, very nice, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Guernsey butter, of course. There's a lot of Guernsey butter goes into both of those.
Can't really get Guernsey butter in the UK, can you?
Yes, you can get it, I believe, in Waitrose.
In Waitrose.
Yes.
How much will it cost per block of butter in Waitrose?
About 15 goats or something, yeah.
Well,
and
seriously,
they do Jersey milk as well.
Seriously, I mean, Guernsey butter in Waitrose is going to be like £6 a pack, isn't it?
I don't know. But anyway,
Guernsey
yes.
butter is absolutely bright orangey yellow.
Yeah,
almost.
it is.
It's the most yellow butter I've ever seen, and it's delicious. We always had Guernsey butter when we used to visit your mum, and she used to keep it in the cupboard.
Yeah, so it was soft.
So it was soft for spreading, and it would stay in the cupboard for a week.
Yeah.
Quite happily.
She would get a block and cut it in half, and then half would go into a container in the cupboard, and the other would stay in the fridge. Yeah.
And why is the Guernsey butter so yellow?
Well, it's because of the really rich grass that they have, and other really decent foodstuffs. I mean, it's a very fertile area.
And the Guernsey coos.
And the Guernsey coos, yes, the Guernsey cows are rather lovely. Yeah.
Lovely. So look out for some traditional Guernsey recipes coming your way here on YouTube. On Richard and Paul. Remember, if you want it all, watch Richard and Paul. Simple.
I think I'll be doing a bean jar as well, which is normally made with a sort of a ham hock, which obviously we're vegetarians, so we won't. But that's haricot beans and onions and carrots and things. So very sort of similar in some ways to the.
Why is it called a bean jar?
Because it was cooked in a tall jar. It was sort of like this shape with a lid, bean jar. Yeah. And what would happen is you make up your bean jar, and then you would take it, traditionally you would take it to the baker, and then once the baker had done his baking, the various bean jars would go in. And
you'd pick it up on the way home from work.
You'd pick it up on the way home.
I mean, that's similar to hot pots.
And they would all be, the bean jars would be slightly different. It's a very French thing, and I think that happened in the UK as well. The bean jars would all have a slightly different pattern or different, carving in the clay, because you knew it was yours.
Yeah, I think
hot pots.
I think it used to happen in the UK too.
Yeah,
sort of
I'm
community ovens, if you like.
Yeah.
Mind you, if things continue the way they're going now, we'll have that again at some point, I'm sure. I kind of quite like the idea of that.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, now there are community fridges. I know there's a community fridge in our local area where you can take things that you are not going to eat, as long as they're still edible and not out of date, and somebody else can take it. And community fridges, there's quite a few community fridges. The number is expanding around the country. Maybe not hugely, but definitely expanding. Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. So, Paul.
But of course, we don't use wood-fired ovens anymore because many bakers would have wood-fired ovens. So now the ovens are all electric, or most of them are electric. So once you turn the heat off, the oven cools down. Where of course, if it's in a big bread oven or a big baker's oven, that heat remains for half a day or more. So that's why that residual heat was used. And they were very often in basements because they would be sort of insulated because of that as well. So, yeah.
There you go. Interesting. So, Paul, you were the victim of fraud.
Yeah.
Weren't you?
Yeah.
Not monetary fraud, thank goodness.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened, Paul?
So,
tell the viewers.
I got to my desk yesterday morning, Friday morning, and I looked on my emails, and there were 4 emails that came in at like 8:46, 8:47 to my email address, my work email address, for a new account, a new mobile phone SIM account on giffgaff. And I don't have an account with giffgaff. My mobile phones are with different companies. And I thought, this is really odd. And it was my email address, a brand new phone number. Apparently somebody called Gary had signed up to it. It said Dear Gary at one point. The username was Paul something. And I have no idea who might have done this. And I thought the best thing to do is to report it, because I've heard in the past that because you can buy so many things on mobile phones now, that some people have run up a huge amount of debt on somebody else's behalf on their mobile phone. I'm not quite sure whether that's right, but I thought better to be safe than sorry. So I called Action Fraud, which is a fraud line, and went through what had happened to them. And they sort of asked lots of questions, took information. That report is being passed on to the police. Nothing will most probably happen with that, but I do have a report number. So if something were to happen and it relates to that phone number, I can say, well, actually, I did report it on this date. This is my crime reference number or whatever number it is. And therefore, I'm not liable. And obviously, I'm just checking the bank accounts that I do have to make sure that no money is coming out of them. And I change my password for my work email as well. So I think I've done all I can to minimise what might happen. As I said to Richard, the thing is, my email address is not one that you could easily get wrong. You need to type it in to get it right, if you see what I mean. It's not like John Smith 47. If your name's John Smith, you have John Smith 47, and somebody puts John Smith is 48 and they put 47. Yeah, it's not like that. So it has to have been signed up by somebody with my email. That's the thing. So we shall see. But I have to say, the anxiety that came with that was quite significant. Even though I sort of knew what I needed to do, it still raised my anxiety quite considerably, and I was a bit discombobulated yesterday when that actually happened. I'm fine now, but I think with things like that, make sure that you take action rather than just leave it. Because if you take action and you get something like that logged, then at least you can go back to you logging it in a procedural manner with the
visual
police.
capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You also took a little trip into Ealing Broadway, didn't you, Paul?
I did.
To go to the bank,
Yes.
which was another different matter entirely.
Yeah, completely.
But you were kind of a little bit shocked at the state of the shopping area.
Yeah. So I where we are in Hanwell, I've traversed this area a lot on foot, going to the doctor, going to the library, going to Lidl once it reopens, going to local shops, getting pita bread, going to the chemist there as well on our high street. So actually, I know this. I'm in this area a lot. There's quite a lot of building work going on. Lidl is being redeveloped. There's an area of shops that is closed and is being redeveloped in our area. But when I got the bus to Ealing Broadway, I went through West Ealing, which is where we used to live years ago before we moved here. And I was really surprised by the amount of closed shops in an area where they have spent many, many millions, tens if not hundreds of millions, rebuilding council estates and other estates and building homes. This shopping street of West Ealing, which we used to love, there used to be a BHS and Marks and Spencer's, the Sainsbury's, there was what else was there? There was a Woolworths. It used to be a real hub, and all of those big shops, apart from Sainsbury's, have now gone. They've been turned into gyms and big, housing developments. Hotels. And the actual shops, 50% of them at least were shut and boarded up. And it was really quite depressing. And I know that some of this is all about online shopping and people getting much more online, as in fact we do as well. But I think also this thing about regenerating areas, if you're not going to regenerate an area in the right way, don't regenerate it, because you're generating an area that is going to be not fit for purpose for the people who are living there. And in fact, this was another topic of conversation on Question Time last night, about the services not being in place for those people. And then I went on into Ealing Broadway and got off the bus at Ealing Broadway, and I don't think I made eye contact with another single person walking the 400 yards I needed to walk to get to the bank. Everybody was rushing about, eyes down, eyes mostly on mobile phones as they were going down, the high street, and it just wasn't a sort of very pleasant experience.
I mean, so just for context, you've got Ealing consists of, I think, 5 different towns. You've got Hanwell, in this stretch you've got Hanwell, West Ealing, Ealing Broadway. You've also got other smaller areas like South Ealing, Northfields, Acton, surrounding it. And Ealing Broadway used to be a sort of destination shopping centre where people would go to because they have a really good indoor shopping centre, lots of big stores. There used to be a big HMV there, which was fantastic. I used to love going to HMV.
And there was a Bentle's there as well, wasn't there, which was a sort of department store that was really good.
Big Marks and Spencer's, which is still there with a food court. It was a good shopping experience. It was always quite fun. Big multi-storey car park, so easy parking, not too expensive, steps straight into the shopping centre, and lifts,
And for those on public transport, Ealing Broadway is a hub. It's right at the end of 2 underground lines, plus it's got a big train station as well. So the transport links in via bus is significant.
So it used to be a destination, but no, it's kind of failing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like so many places in the UK are.
I mean, we've got a friend who regularly goes to Ealing Broadway, and she does enjoy it, you know. But for me, it's lost. So many things now are losing the heart. You know that used to be the beating pulse of a place. That beating pulse seems to just be being eradicated now, which is really sad.
Anywho, let's move on to the intellectual part. Right, so it is the 18th of October.
Gosh, 18th, only 2.5 months, less than 2.5 months till 2026.
Oh gosh. Oh. Okay, so the word is antithalian or antithalian. Antithalian. Antithalian.
A-N-T...
A-N-T-I-T-H-A-L-I-A-N.
Thalian, antithalian.
Oh, wow. Actually, this sounds like me. Any ideas?
Antithalian. Well, if it sounds like you, somebody who likes to keep away from crowds and doesn't like to engage with others.
Well. One who is opposed to festivities of all kinds, a dour and Scroogey sort of person, may be termed antithalian. It was a word casually dropped by Thomas Love Peacock, born on this day in 1785, in his wonderful pastiche of the Gothic romance and of the Romantics themselves, Nightmare Abbey. Herein one Miss Celinda Toobad is described proudly by her father as being altogether as gloomy and antithalian a young lady as Mr. Glowry himself could desire for the future mistress of Nightmare Abbey. That was a long sentence. The Greek figure of Thalia was the muse of comedy and the grace of parties. So anyone who dislikes both, for instance, the kind of person who, in modern cities, moves into a new apartment near a famous old music venue or bar and then promptly begins to complain about the noise, may properly be termed antithalian, and much else besides. There we go.
Thank you for that, Richard.
How jolly.
Thank you. Somebody who was very antithalian in that case was a person who moved into a lovely traditional Surrey village very near where Vanessa lives. And I think this is most probably about 4, 5 or 6 years ago now. But there was a fantastic village green in this village, and it's the hub of everything. Everything is around it. It's really lovely, very, very quintessentially English. And there's cricket that goes on that green every single Sunday in the cricket season. So this person moved into the big house there and immediately started complaining that the cricket shouldn't be happening because a ball landed in her garden and it could be dangerous, and it could and set up a campaign for cricket, which had been played on this green for ever, to basically be banned from the green. Fortunately, she didn't get her way, so that was quite good. But yeah, talking about moving into it's a bit like moving next to a pub, like the Fox. It's a busy pub with lots of outdoor activity now, and you move next door to it and start complaining that it's too loud, the pub is too loud. It's a pub, So yeah, there we are.
Thank you, Paul. What have we watched on television this week? This is our weekly segment where we review the programmes and films we've watched. Well, we've watched a few movies this week, but let's start off very quickly skimming over it. The Great British Bake Off continues.
Someone left.
Someone left. Well, someone leaves every week.
Well, they didn't in the first week, but yeah, someone left. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Sky at Night, BBC Four.
That was an interesting one because it was about astronauts, and much of our viewing this week in terms of films had been all about space. So that was quite interesting, and looked at a female astronaut from the UK that went into space 30 years ago. So interesting.
We also watched quite an interesting documentary, rather jolly, Why Planes Crash. And that was on BBC. Was it BBC 4 or BBC One?
BBC 4, I think it was.
I thought it was on BBC One.
Well, yeah.
It was really interesting, and of course stated what we already knew, that if you want to get out of a plane crash quickly, make sure you're sitting near the emergency exit.
Yeah.
That's what the experts say. There is no ideal seat to sit in, but if you can be near the exits, that will help.
But it did look at very recent crashes. It was looking sort of in the last, I think it was 18 months, including that terrible Indian air crash earlier this year. And I mean, it makes you realise that even though it's one of the safest forms of travel, still, you know, if a plane goes down, the plane goes down. So, yeah.
Yeah. We've started a new series on BBC One, Riot Women.
Yeah.
We don't normally kind of watch BBC One dramas, but this is a drama / comedy. But it does have some pretty heavy themes running through it.
Absolutely. Right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning. Very dark. But the performances are really good. If I was going to criticise it...
Which he is.
It kind of went from very dark to very light very, very quickly. Whether that was intentional, I don't know. Probably. Because it needed to. But the messages conveyed in the show, in the storyline, are very clear. There is no... You don't have to think about what this show is telling me.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about that. It's very open and clear. So, I didn't have to think about it too hard. But it looks as though it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
So we will continue with that.
Superb cast, and lots
cast.
of really, really good female actors in it. So that is great.
Oh, it's a dog.
Dog. I thought it was children. We have a dog up the road that has a few mental health issues and barks an awful lot, but it's very sweet. Very sweet.
So we continue with RuPaul's Drag Race on BBC Three. It's kind of really warming up now.
Yeah. It's getting to that stage, isn't it, where you're getting to know the queens more. Yeah.
So we're enjoying it.
So when you felt in the past that maybe somebody's been a bit brash, you then hear something and it's sort of like, oh God, honestly, how has that person survived that? You know. So.
We watched Have I Got News for You, BBC One last night.
Quite a good one.
Yeah, it was okay, and it was Alexander Armstrong presenting. So he's always quite good.
Very good singer. Yeah, very good cabaret artist too. Yeah.
We watched a film on Talking Pictures, The Case of the Frightened Lady. That was really good. It was. Really good. Would make a really good stage play. With quite a good cast. Virginia McKenna. Yeah. Playing one of the leads. Really good. Recommended if you can catch it. It might be on YouTube, I guess.
It might be on YouTube. I think Talking Pictures, if you don't know the channel, I think if you go to talkingpictures.tv or something on the internet, or look for Talking Pictures UK, they do have some type of catch-up, but I'm not quite sure how it works.
Really
But,
good
yeah.
though, really good.
But Talking Pictures is all sort of old series and black and white movies and older movies. So yeah, it's a good one.
We watched an episode of Top of the Pops from 1986 with the most cringe-worthy video I have ever seen. It was Cliff Richard and Sarah Brightman doing that number from Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
God, what's it called?
I can't remember, but the video was just terrible. And who was it? What's it? Russell directed it, wasn't it?
Who?
Oh, you know, the avant-garde director.
I don't know.
Thingy Russell. Oh, I can't remember. But it was
Ken Russell.
Ken Russell directed it.
I mean, at one point they were literally licking each other. It was disgusting, cringeworthy. He kept smelling her hair, and then they ended up kissing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every few minutes, the background changed.
Yeah.
It was like watching a slideshow of somebody's holiday videos.
It was.
It was ridiculous.
I don't remember when.
Oh, it was vile.
When I was working with Cliff, and still sort of am. I think it must have been. No, it was definitely after that video. It was definitely after that video that I was working with him. Yeah, and what was
You didn't work with Cliff until the early 90s.
90s. Yeah, so it was definitely after that video. But gosh, it's a terrible video, Cliff. It really is.
He's not going to be watching.
Video.
He's not going to be watching.
Oh,
if
dear.
you are Cliff, hi.
Yeah.
It was awful.
It was.
It was. I was literally gagging.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Yeah. And at one point, Sarah Brightman ran towards him and jumped, and he sort of caught her, and it was sort of like, it looks and feels all wrong.
Very
it really
wrong.
does. Yeah.
Very wrong by today's standards. Anyway.
Well, I think by any standards.
Oh, it was vile. We watched 3 movies this week. We watched Alien, the original Alien.
Yeah.
Which you could remember half of.
I think I've only ever watched Alien from when they find the eggs, or just before then. So I don't remember the beginning of it at all, but I very much enjoyed it. I love all the Alien movies. Yeah.
I think the first one, I don't know, it's okay. I mean, it has its moments. I think my favourite one, I don't know which one it is, but it's that one where she gets into the exoskeleton and goes, "Leave her alone, you bitch," or whatever.
Isn't it Aliens?
Get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
I love that line. It's so camp. Anywho, we also rewatched, because I wanted to rewatch it, Interstellar. The thing that really struck me about Interstellar is the delivery of the lines. I find really difficult to hear, because very often a lot of the lines are complicated sort of space, time dilation theories, and they're sort of throwaway lines. They're thrown away by the actors, and very often you're like, what was that? Matthew McConaughey saying, well, there's time dilation, speed of light. What? I really struggled at times.
Well, I think there's an awful lot of meaningfully earnest, low-level talking where it's almost as if they're
whispering everything.
And it's sort of like, why is your, I mean, some people's voice, I admit, they are like that. But when you're doing it for TV, for an international audience of, several billion people potentially, it needs to be clear.
Yeah. I think also what tends to happen is these movies the soundtracks have been mixed for Dolby 20 speaker systems, where you have a dedicated speaker in the centre which delivers the dialogue very clearly, and then you've got the sound effects and the music, and our TV, it's just got a couple of speakers, you know, so
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it's equipped for those kind of movies.
Yeah.
But
Dune was a bit like that. If you remember, I was talking
Yeah.
about that a few weeks ago. Yeah.
and we also rewatched, because neither of us could remember watching it, Ad Astra with Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Decent.
Again, they're sort of movies that make you think about the cosmos, the vastness of space, the pure difficulties that astronauts have basically staying alive in capsules that are orbiting the Earth or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is a dangerous business. But yeah, good movie. That's it.
Is that it?
That's it for
That's
this week's
it.
show.
That's it.
Time to get on. We've got shit to do.
We do.
And we have a show to see this evening as well.
Yes, we're at the Great Green Barn this evening
We are.
for the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So we will be there for that, and back in time, hopefully by midnight for this to go live. So
Well,
that's all
I
good.
hope we will be
Well
back
be,
in time
yeah.
for midnight.
Yeah.
We better be.
So,
And if we do take any footage, it will be featured in my vlog.
yay! Aw.
So that's it.
That's
Time
it.
to say goodbye.
I'll say goodbye then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Toodle pip. Au revoir.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Time dilation.